Coaster Curious George here. Hope you're doing well. So, thank you for joining me in this video. This is basically my first ever reaction video, and what I'm going to be reacting to is the Six Flags Qiddiya opening ceremony. So, for those of you who are not aware, Six Flags Qiddiya is a brand new resort. It's like a resort complex, part of a broader Qiddiya area in Saudi Arabia, and a massive theme park with a budget of approximately $1 billion has been constructed there. And the opening day is the 31st of December this year. So not tomorrow. This is the date of this video has been recorded on the 29th of December. So not tomorrow, but the day after. So very exciting stuff. And there are a number of record breakers in this park as well. I mean, there has been, from what I can tell, no expense spared. This thing is, going like all out. So I'm really, really excited about this. And I will be visiting early next year as well. So I'm really excited. It'll be part of a broader trip to the Middle East. And so I'm planning on bringing a wide range of footage from coasters to rides to, unusual stuff I might see, like unusual theme park stuff I might encounter. So I'm really looking forward to getting that and sharing it. But in particular with Qiddiya, I'm very excited about checking out the rides that are coming there. Also, I hope you like the background behind me as well. Just for those who don't know, it's Baron 1898, which is the B&M dive coaster at Efteling in the Netherlands. So I wanted to have something coaster themed, coaster related, and I thought that was appropriate. Now, there are no B&Ms coming to Qiddiya that I'm aware of, but it's just nice to have be close to another coaster in spirit. Okay, so there's not long to go. There's about 3 minutes in total. So this is very exciting stuff. Now, there are a number of remarkable looking rides that are coming to Qiddiya. And I've heard very good things from, because it's had a soft opening so far, so not a full opening. However, I do know there are people who have ridden, and friends of mine who have been on Iron Rattler, as well as Colossus. That's the Vekoma tilt coaster and the GCI Woody. And the coasters there look phenomenal. For example, Colossus is a GCI Woody, so Great Coasters International wooden coaster. And this thing, and of course, I've not been on any of this stuff yet. This is purely speculation on my part. It looks a lot like a mixture between Prowler at Worlds of Fun and Mystic Timbers at King's Island. And what I mean by that, in terms of being very aggressive with awesome pacing and smooth as well. So it reminds me of that. So I'm very excited about that. Then there is the Vekoma tilt coaster as well, Iron Rattler. And I've been on Siren's Curse at Cedar Point for opening day, and that was awesome. I love Siren's Curse. That's a really good coaster. Iron Rattler looked nuts. So the initial drop looks much bigger, vertically straight down, and there's some amazing looking elements. I would imagine it's very smooth, given it's a next gen Vekoma, so that's fantastic. Then there's Spitfire as well, which ironically it looks minuscule next to Falcon's Flight, but it's going to have the tallest inversion in the world, which is an inverted top hat. So rather than top hat like Stealth, where you get negative G's and you get launched out of your seat going over the top, in this case, you'll get heavy positive G's, I would imagine, going sort of upside down through the top hat. And the closest one I've done is Mr. Freeze at Six Flags St. Louis. And that was surprisingly intense, more than I thought it would be. And it's good fun. So I'm looking forward to that thing, but then with modern technology. So I'm really excited about that. And also, it has a swing launch as well with a hill. And I'm thinking that's probably going to feel a little bit like Two Tatis at Park Asterix, which I've done. And I can definitely see Spitfire feeling similar to that. Of course, I'm going to provide reviews on this stuff when I actually do go, and my reactions and all sorts. And then there's the big headliner, which is a Falcon's Flight. So this will be the longest, tallest, and fastest coaster in the world. The maximum height is 600 and something feet. I want to say 605 or 626-ish feet, which is going to be incredible. And that's also, it's an Intamin product as well, and Intamin are known for pushing the boundaries of their creations, and they are certainly pushing some boundaries with this in terms of creativity and just everything and how amazing it looks. And what we have is, it will also be the longest coaster in the world at about 14,000 feet of track. So that's 14,000. It will also be the fastest coaster in the world as well at 155 miles per hour. I think that's about 250 kilometers per hour, that's nuts. That is crazy, but I love it. So I'm very, very excited about trying this as well. And I have been on very fast rides like Zadra and Hyperion and Energylandia, where they give you goggles if you're in the front row to protect your eyes. But on Falcon's Flight, there are no goggles. What they have are windscreens in the front of each of the cars, and I assume these have been tested in wind tunnels to protect you against sand and other debris from the desert blowing your way. And So those are going to be used to protect your eyes and protect yourself whilst you're on this coaster, which is fantastic. And I've seen some pictures and footage come out of the City of Thrills area where Falcon's Flight is located. It looks, just mind blowing. So it looks really beautiful. So I genuinely can't wait to ride this. And I've seen testing footage of it going up LSM magnets, so like accelerating up the cliff face, diving off the cliff face, and being accelerated downwards. And that just got me even more excited. It sounds like a jet taking off, which is unbelievable when you think it's actually a roller coaster. So yes, I can't wait for this trip, and I'm also equally excited to be able to share all this stuff with the viewers as well, of my channel as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. I've been thinking a lot about where Falcon's Flight might fit into my top 10. I still go back and forth on my top 10. I'm still trying to figure out where my different coasters align. But I've got coasters such as Zadra, Maverick, Batman Gotham City Escape. What else? Mystic Timbers also ranks very highly as well. And I like smoothness, aggression, and pacing. And initially, I was wondering how Falcon's Flight would compare. Is it just going to feel very fast but forceless like Millennium Force? Who knows? Is it going to be super aggressive and intense? Who knows? Is it going to deliver very powerful moments of airtime because this is a modern Intamin coaster? We don't know yet, but I'm very excited to try it and find out. If Falcon's Flight does deliver on those three things I look for, pacing, smoothness, and aggression, based on how amazing the layout looks, I think it could be an easy number one. I would love to have that as a number one, though. I'd love to have Falcon's Flight winning number one. On my YouTube channel, I uploaded my reaction to riding the Beast at King's Island for the very first time, and I got a front row night ride, and it was mind-blowing as far as I was concerned. And I'll provide a link to that in the description below. But I couldn't believe what I just encountered. And I was ecstatically happy. I couldn't believe what had just happened. The smell of the thick timber blowing in my face, the screams of the train echoing off the tunnel walls as we were going through tunnels, the silhouettes of the trees rushing past, because the only lighting was moonlight. There was no formal lighting in the ride area. It was an astonishing experience. And I've even considered putting that in my top 10 based solely on the front row night ride and nothing else. And I'm wondering if maybe Falcon's Flight will be the same. Maybe one ride will just be astonishing and it'll just go, straight to the top. But I'm certainly planning on recording my reaction and I'll update you all with what I think of it after riding it. Now, I should point out, I have no idea what to expect going into the opening ceremony. I have seen a brief short on YouTube and it did show some fireworks being launched as well. And at the same time, the Falcon's Flight train was cresting over this 600-foot camelback hill. So maybe that sort of thing might appear. It could do. However, keeping in mind, it appears like no expense has been spared regarding this resort, and I'm imagining the opening ceremony is going to be equally impressive as well. Also, shout out to my friend Rebecca, who is watching this and has been in several vlogs that I've been when I've been to theme parks as well. She's also very excited about Six Flags Qiddiya as well, and we'll actually be in the park at the same time when we do go. So she was telling me she's very excited for Colossus as well, the GCI Woody, which I'm also very excited for as well. I would say in my case, the thing I'm most excited for, it has to be Falcon's Flight, really. But I must admit, actually, I am quite intrigued by the GCI Woody Colossus as well. Okay, it's starting. Here we go.
ومن داخل مدينة القدية تبدأ تجربة ترفيهية بمستوى عالمي.
I cannot believe we're going to get the largest gyro swing. Sorry, not gyroscope. Gyro swing in the world. That is going to be breathtaking. I've done Tigerian at Jers Summerland as well as Loki at Liseberg, and both were amazing. I mean, look at this. There we go. That was Spitfire. That was the inverted top hat. And there was a trim brake at the top as well. Wow. There you go. That was Iron Rattler, the Vekoma tilt coaster. The elements of Iron Rattler, though, the barrel down drop. Oh, there's Falcon's Flight. There goes Iron Rattler. I've heard that stall loop is phenomenal on Iron Rattler. I mean, look at this. This is in the middle of the desert.
مساء الخير عليكم ونرحب فيكم من قلب مدينة القدية.
Wow. And I still can't get over the fact that Spitfire is enormous. This is Iron Rattler. There goes Colossus. With Spitfire, I cannot get over how small it looks in comparison to Falcon's Flight. And it's not small at all. and everything just looks so well laid out and immaculate. Oh, now this drop tower is an interesting one, the Sirocco drop tower. Well, actually, it might be a space shot tower, but it's this drop or space shot tower. This thing I think is a good 500 feet tall, and I love the fact that the gondolas look minuscule on the tower. This is amazing. Whilst watching testing footage of Falcon's flight from afar, Falcon's flight trains look very small. However, I did see IAPA footage of the Falcon's flight trains, and they looked enormous. So the wheels were enormous as well. And I understand there were also water cooling systems for the wheels because of the hot ambient desert environment to help maintain the ride and help keep things going. And just to re-emphasize a point I made earlier, the resort is from what I understand, it's just outside of Riyadh in the Qiddiya area. And not only is it enormous, which is very impressive, but it also, as well as being such a vast size, it's in the middle of the desert, which is amazing. That's incredible. And it looks really breathtaking. And there are certain parks I've been to that do look breathtaking when you see them from an aerial view. Europa Park is one of them. Fantasyland, which is much smaller, is another one. But Qiddiya looks absolutely phenomenal so far. So another point that was just briefly mentioned by the hosts was Aquarabia. Aquarabia. I'm not 100% sure how to say it correctly, but this is the water park associated with the Qiddiya complex. And I know very little information about this at the moment. I may get the chance to try it. Not sure. If it's open, I'll definitely give it a go. But I had no doubt it will be equally as impressive as the theme park itself. So there appear to be special guests arriving.
So nice to see you today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome to Qiddiya City and Six Flags opening.
I'm actually so happy to be here. I've been to Six Flags myself years ago, and honestly, being in Saudi Arabia and seeing this happening is actually so surreal.
To fruition. So, and the most exciting thing of all, despite what a milestone this is for Six Flags at Qiddiya City, it's actually just the very first step in what is going to be a very, very long and exciting journey of new openings in Qiddiya City. People often ask me, so when is Qiddiya City opening? And I say, well, it's a city. It doesn't really open. And then they say, when is it going to finish? And I say, well, where are you from? And they tell me where they're from. And I say, is your city finished? Putting the flagship Falcon's flight, which has had roller coaster enthusiasts around the world salivating for years as they've been waiting for this day, this night.
Oh, yes.
For the world's fastest.
I'm one of them. I'm definitely one of them.
Roller coaster. I would never go on it. But it's funny that I'm not a roller coaster
I would.
guy. That be AI proof. That are future-proof.
Wow.
If you think about the way the world is being
disrupted
by AI, these are jobs up here.
It's very exciting to hear that this is an ongoing project, and the fact that the city is constantly going to be developing with new things, potentially maybe a Formula One. I know there's a racetrack, but maybe Formula One was mentioned. It may be included in the future, possibly. So this sort of stuff is fantastic. And right now we can see footage of Iron Rattler traversing the track. And Iron Rattler, given it's a next-gen Vekoma, and Vekoma are on the top of their game, I'm fairly confident it's going to be spectacular. Largest gyro spin in the world. Largest gyro spin in the world right here.
What's your favorite?
I would say Falcon's Flight or Iron Rattler.
Hearing that Iron Rattler and Falcon's Flight are his personal favourites based on what he's ridden so far, which is all the coasters, that's just got me even more excited now for Falcon's Flight. I think it will be a fantastic coaster because I've heard very good things about Iron Rattler so far. I've personally not seen the Arabian Desert before in person, and I've heard it's very striking when you see it for the first time, when you have your first exposure to it. So being on these coasters and being able to see the scenery around you as well, I think that's also going to be very exciting as well, and I'm very keen to see what it's going to be like when actually on these rides. I love the fact that you've got the lighting from the top of the cliff as well. That just gives it a spectacular edge. And it reminds me of the Pulsar Rookburg show at Phantasialand. They have lights from the top of the buildings as well, from the top of the sound barriers, disguised as the steampunk city Rookburg. And it looks very impressive, both from the Charles Lindbergh Hotel balcony, as well as from on the ground as well. So it reminds me of that. With Iron Rattler, the Vekoma tilt coaster, one thing to keep in mind is that on Siren's Curse, when you're on the tilt mechanism, it's a lot more intimidating when you're actually on it, and Iron Rattler is much taller. Also, what's happening is your body is kind of like forced forward into the vest restraints, so you're no longer resting against the seat as you are then facing down the drop. You're basically like leaning into the vests, and so that's basically the only thing stopping you from, essentially falling out. And I imagine it's going to be even more exciting and even more intimidating on Iron Rattler, given that the drop, I would imagine, looks much scarier from when you're on the tilt mechanism on Iron Rattler, but it's also much taller as well. I don't know exactly how tall it is. I think it's about 200 feet, but probably a bit over. I want to say 208 feet, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure of the actual height.
First of all, I want to ask you about the longest, tallest roller coaster in the world, which is called Falcons.
Falcon's Flight, so more than 4,000 meters of track, 195 meters tall and 250 kilometers an hour. It's the first time that one world record has been in one place. We've got to come ride it. It's one of the best coasters in the world.
The question is, did you actually ride?
I've ridden it, I've tested it, my team have tested it. I was one of the first to ride, so I can certify it is awesome.
So you're
Hearing the initial review for Falcon's Flight has got me even more exciting now. The fact that it just sounds amazing. And I think, at least for me personally, my current number one is Xandra right now. It's probably going to surpass that. As amazing as Xandra is, though, and as much as I love it, I think Falcon's Flight is probably going to surpass it. I can't wait to feel the power and acceleration of this thing. I mean, seeing the drop tower there briefly, the gondolas looks just so tiny in comparison to the drop tower. So the drop tower itself, it doesn't actually look that tall. But when you see how minuscule the gondolas are, you realise really how tall it is. It was interesting what was said in the interview a moment ago about Falcon's Flight being a bit slow to start off with to kind of warm you up, and then they really kind of hit you with the acceleration as well as the enormous camelback. So I'm very intrigued by that. So unlike a coaster like Xandra, for example, or Maverick, or Ride's Happiness, where the pacing is perfect the entire way through, what we might find, potential speculation here, is you might find it feels like a good sort of solid Intamin, modern multi-launch beforehand with some nice pops of airtime, maybe a bit relaxing, a bit sort of like graceful, and then you can hit the acceleration and the train's going to go nuts. So it sounds like that's the type of thing we might be expecting. So if so, that's a very interesting, ride design, if so. So you can see there's one of those, I'm not quite sure what they're called, like pagoda or like pagoda style rides, the viewing observation towers, essentially, where it elevates you like this slowly, and you have this rotating observation platforms. Efteling in the Netherlands has one, so I've got Baron 1898 behind me. Same ride. So not same ride, apologies. Same ride model. This observation tower and the one at Efteling as well. And I can imagine that will give spectacular views, similar to what we've seen so far, especially at night. Qiddiya looks much better than I even ever imagined. I already had high expectations, and they've all been surpassed from what I've seen so far. Okay, it's starting. Here we go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's such an awesome countdown. So, as expected, they're going all out for this opening ceremony. So this is a good start so far. Oh, that's a beautiful light display. So a very slick opening dance routine, and now with this light routine. Very cool so far.
Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Qiddiya City.
So that's been a very cool opening ceremony so far, or beginning to the ceremony. So it's going to be very exciting to see how things progress and evolve from here. You know what this reminds me of? There's a new art museum in the cultural district near Yas Island in the UAE called Team Lab Phenomena. And during my trip to the Middle East next year, I'm planning on going there and recording some footage of it if I'm allowed to. And it's essentially an art museum, a digital art museum, where what you have is sort of like electrical engineers and other engineers teaming up with artists, like professional artists, and they create this type of thing. And they create this highly immersive digital environment. And it reminds me a little bit of that. Very, very cool. Wow. That's amazing. So the opening ceremony started with an impressive routine, and it's just getting better and better and becoming more complex and elaborate, which is awesome to see. I love it. I know very little about the racetrack and the racetrack capability that is going to emerge at Qiddiya. It's not something which is a normal focus of my channel, but I'm very excited to see how this may evolve in the future as well. And if I do see any updates in Qiddiya and it's okay for me to film, then I will certainly update the viewers of this channel. After viewing what I've seen so far, I think this could potentially be the best resort and best theme park in the world. Now, admittedly, I've not done Epic Universe yet, which I've heard is amazing. I would love to do it at some point as well. And it's also great they're doing the presentations in both Arabic and English, which implies to me that it's this international, worldwide project and it's going to have a global appeal, which it certainly is. I mean, geographically, I'm nowhere near, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I can't wait to go, and I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love the resort.
كل يوم أحلى فيها. سبت فاير صدقية.
First theme park in Saudi Arabia, quite possibly the best theme park in the world, as a serious contender to be so. All of these are very impressive digital effects, and as far as I'm concerned, it's sending a message saying that basically this is going to be an outstanding resort. That's really what I'm getting from this, and we can see this clearly already in terms of the ride lineup. And I think it was 27 rides that were mentioned, but even that, I mean, clearly quality is better than quantity. They don't need 100 rides if the ones they have are breathtaking. And I love the ceremony from what I've seen so far. It is absolutely stunning, and it's did an amazing job so far. I'm assuming this is supposed to be themed the sawmill area, or the what is it, the steampunk Iron Rattler themed area. So I assume what they're doing here is they're using these visual digital displays to showcase the different realms and areas of Qiddiya. So the area we just saw a moment ago with the steampunk and the sawmill type theming is likely closely related to Iron Rattler, especially the fact that there was a drill moving across the screen as well, and it looks like the front of the Iron Rattler car. In this case, it looks a lot like the Twilight Gardens area. I don't know a huge amount about this. I think there's a very impressive dark ride, a trackless dark ride in the area, but I know that Twilight Gardens is one of the ride areas in Qiddiya. So if that is what they're doing, if that's what they're trying to portray here, then that's a very clever way of indicating this and showing this as part of the opening ceremony. So this looks like the dancers on a plane wing traversing and flying through the desert. So I would imagine this is a reference to Spitfire, the Intamin LSM launch coaster, especially as you can hear airplane noises as well in the video. So a moment ago, it looked like a reference to the record-breaking gyro swing. This looks like it might be a reference to City of Thrills. I've seen I can see the Falcon symbol. Yes, it's definitely a reference to City of Thrills. And the theming as well looks very similar. Oh, that's clearly, of course it is. The Falcon is the exact same design as the train for Falcon's Flight. Of course it is. Yeah, it's a very cool design. I like the design of the city and this part of the opening ceremony. At this point, I'm a little bit lost for words in terms of what I've seen so far. It is so spectacular so far. So to everyone involved. An amazing job so far. We all know what those eyes represent. Oh, is this the actual POV? I think this is a full almost, or part of it anyway. It is. It's the actual POV. Look at it go. Ready? Slow down. Launch, launch, launch. The firework effects. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That outer bank over the cliff. Also, the windscreens are a lot less obstructive than I thought they would be. Oh, slow down, trim brake. Wow. And the Falcon in the sky. Oh, here we go, here we go. Fastest and coolest moment coming up. Look at it! Wow! Look at the speed of that thing! Oh, wow. Look at the firework effect. Okay, that has been an amazing ceremony so far. That was the clear highlight of all of it. Seeing the actual POV of Falcon's flight, front row, with all of the fireworks going off. Now, of course, the fireworks are not going to be going off when I'm going to be there. I'm assuming this is just an opening ceremony thing. However, I still cannot wait to actually ride it front row and back row. Oh, wow. Oh, the Falcon projection. Look at it. Now open, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pause it there because I think that's the end of the ceremony, or at least that appears to be the main event over and done with. So just to consolidate my thoughts, that was spectacular. I'm far more than I thought it would be. I already went in with high expectations, expecting Qiddiya to put everything into the opening ceremony, and they went way above and beyond my expectations. I mean, having the like the squirrel suit jumper coming down and going through the archway as Falcon's flight was testing, the POV of Falcon's flight as well with all the fireworks going off. The outer bank over the cliff face is even more terrifying than I imagined it would be. And just seeing all the hard work and effort that's been put into the resort, it just looks absolutely phenomenal. So that was an incredible opening ceremony. I've never seen anything like that before. So well worth watching. And it is history making as well with that footage of Falcon's flight. That was the tallest, longest and fastest coaster in the world testing, which we've just seen now, which was absolutely breathtaking. So yes, I'm going to end it there. So thank you very much for watching, especially if you've stuck this far. I hope you found that enjoyable. If you want to see more of this sort of content, please like and subscribe. And please leave your comments as well in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Qiddiya and the new complex and what you're most looking forward to. So yes, and again, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. So all the best. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So all the best.